coming down to a seated comfortable position at the front of our mats. And when you're ready, just gently closing down the eyes. Just finding both sit bones beneath you. And then rising tall out through the crown of your head. Roll the shoulders forward, up and back. Just allow them to melt down away from your ears. You can turn the palms up to receive, or you can keep them face down on your knees to ground yourself. As we start to observe our breath, focusing on the inhalations and your exhalations, and the space between the two. So maybe observing the way the chest and the belly rise with every inhale and fall away with every exhale. And then taking your attention to the space between the two breaths. What happens in between each breath? Inhaling, we receive fresh new oxygen. As we exhale, we let everything go. Inhale to receive fresh new oxygen. And exhaling anything that no longer serves us. Hands to heart center. I'd like to invite you to set an intention for today's practice. Just mentally repeating it 3 times. And then when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Okay guys, so slightly different practice today. We've been practicing for a few weeks now. I've observed how you practice, and I want to share a little secret with you that really helped my practice, and I kind of wish I'd known it 2 years ago. It's going to help maximize the potential in your postures and give you an understanding of what we're actually trying to feel in each posture. Okay, so coming to sit onto our heels, okay, and just observing what's happening. So we have a natural curve shape, an S shape in our body. Okay, so as you can see, my spine comes like this, and there's a slight curve here in the spine. Now, in order to find my neutral, I need to lift the pelvis, so lift the frontal bones up. So I just slide, it's ever so slight. So if everybody brings their hands to their hip bones, and just feel where they are. So most of us, our hip bones will be facing, our pelvis will be tilting down. On your inhale, just slightly draw it up, and then back down. So it's an ever so slight movement. Inhale, we find our neutral, and then we slightly tip. So can everybody feel that? It's ever so subtle. Okay? So I want you to remember this movement throughout practice today. So when I say lift the pelvis, it's that movement. Yes. So you're drawing in the belly, you're lifting your pelvic floor, and we're finding our neutral. Okay? And rest. Good. So just remembering that. So coming onto our hands and knees. We're going to start with a few rounds of cat-cow, and we're going to break this posture down. So we want our peace fingers facing the front of our mat. Okay? And then we want to look to wrap the front of our elbows forward. So you'll see at the moment the crease of them are back. We want to wrap them to face the front of the mat. Very good. So that might be hard for some people if you don't have the ability yet, but you will get there. Now this movement feels almost like you're trying to open a jam jar, okay? So you're wrapping and you're squeezing the armpits. Now this you're going to find in most of your inversions. So in downward facing dog, this is the position of your arms that we want. In your high plank, this is what we're looking for, this wrapping movement. Then when you're ready, we take an inhale, we look to the sky. Exhale, we round. So keeping that wrapping, keep the front of the elbows facing forward. Inhale, we lift the chest. Exhale, we round. So just take your attention now to your hip bones and your pelvis, just like we did at the start of class. Observe what's going on as you take your cat-cow. So as we inhale, we look to the sky, we lift our tailbone. And as we exhale, we draw the pelvis up. Good. So closing down the eyes so we really feel this, guys, okay? Try to picture where you are in space and what's going on with the pelvis. So inhale, we look to the sky, we send the tailbone up as we drop the belly and flare the ribs. Stay here for me. Good. So staying in our cow position, okay? If you're just looking at me here, we're flaring the ribs, okay? We draw the shoulders back and down and we squeeze the blades together, okay? Essentially, if I come up, preparing us for our back bend. This is our back bend, okay? So we're wrapping the arms, we're squeezing the shoulder blades, we're looking up. Our tailbone is lifted to the sky as we're dropping our belly. Then we suck the belly up, we press into our hand and our tailbone tucks underneath us. One more time, we inhale, draw the shoulder blades together. Lift the tailbone, flare the ribs. Exhale, we round, sucking the belly up. Stay in this posture here, our angry cat. So pressing into the hands, we're still turning the creases of our elbows to face the front. Yes, very good. This is where we find our stabilization. We're sucking our belly up, 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 up. Press into the shoulders and gently release. Good. So there's actually a lot going on. Take a seat, okay? So in our cat-cow, the secret is in every forward fold there's a back bend, and in every back bend there's a forward fold, okay? So just keep remembering that throughout. So that positioning of the flared ribs, the shoulders and the tailbone high, and then tucking underneath, because we're going to refer to that throughout the class, okay? So from here, coming back into our tabletop, we turn our left knee in to face the center of the mat and extend our right leg out behind us, coming onto the outer edge of our right foot. So you'll be facing this side of the wall, okay? Hand, knee, and foot are in line with one another, and you're going to take your right hand and place it under your left ribs. Good. Inhale, start to curl the ribs up towards the sky. Good. Then you can extend your right hand up. So your two shoulders want to be stacked upon one another. Now that movement that we did at the start by tilting our hips, lift the pelvis up. It's ever so slight. Good. Reaching with our hands up as we ground down with our left. Very nice. Then maybe if it's okay for your neck, turn to look up to your right hand. Keep lifting that pelvis, that subtle movement of lifting the frontal hip bones. Ground down through the outer edge of your right foot. Take a breath in. Stay for the exhale. And when you're ready, release your right hand down to the ground. Good. Taking a few rounds of cat-cow again, wrapping the elbows forward. We inhale, look to the sky. Send the tailbone up as you flare the ribs. Exhale to round. Inhale into our cow. Exhale, angry cat. Good. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And then finding our neutral. neutral spine. Good. And then we take this on the other side. So, turning the right knee in now to face the center of the mat, we extend the left leg back. So now we're looking to the opposite side of the room. Our hand, our knee, and our foot are in line with one another. We take the left hand, place it under the right ribs. There's no rush to get into this posture. Inhale, start to curl the ribs up towards the sky. Then extend the hand up. Good. Again, gently lift the frontal hip bones up. So if there are two panes of glass on either side of you, your bottom wouldn't be touching. Good. Pressing down into that right hand. Remember, root to rise. Reach out with the left hand and maybe turn to look to the left fingertips. Breathe. Everybody take a nice deep inhale here. Steady exhale. And when you're ready, release your hands back down to the ground. Good. Send your hips back and let's make our way into a child's pose. Big toes to touch, knees come wide. Extend the arms out in front of you. Relax the forehead and the neck down to the ground. Good. So just breathing here, connect with your breath. We're trying to find length in our side body. So maybe reaching your arms a little bit further away to create space, the ribs. Our arms are active, so we're pressing down into the pads of our fingertips and the base of our knuckles. And then again, think about wrapping, like we did in cat-cow, the front of the elbows up towards the sky. So it's that same movement. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. So we're really fine-tuning everything today. Good. Take a deep inhale here. Feel the rib cage expand. Exhale, melt down to the floor. And then when you're ready, we rise forward. We take the knees now to hip width apart and then send your hips back again. This time, on your inhale, just like you do in Angry Cat, suck the belly up. We rise forward, and then we start to lower the belly as we lift the chest. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another. Good. Then inhale, we start to make our way back. Draw the belly up. We're going back through Angry Cat. Exhale, send your hips back, Child's Pose. So we're really focusing on what's going on in the pelvis. Again, we inhale, suck the belly. The pelvis rises forward. Exhale, we drop the pelvis towards the ground as we open our heart space up. Draw the shoulder blades together. Nice. Inhale, we start to make our way back, sucking up the belly. Exhale, Child's Pose. So taking a few rounds here at your own pace. Remember, we want to connect the movement with the breath. Good. Try to keep the eyes closed down. Take your focus inwards. Feel what's going on with the body. Connect with your breath. Good. Let's take one more here. Wherever you are, just take one more. Inhaling, we suck up the belly. We make our way into Angry Cat. Releasing the pelvis down. Remember, elbows, the crease wraps forward. It's where we create stability. And then when you're ready and finished your round, make your way back into Child's Pose, so I know. Good. From here, we slightly rise forward and tuck the toes. Yes. Lift up the knees. So we're in like a hovered kind of child's pose now. And then from here, try to send your chest towards your thighs as you send your hips up. And think of the movement where you do your tailbone to the sky in your cat-cow. Good. So just going through our down dog. Again, the crease of the elbows is wrapping to the front of the room. You're drawing the shoulder blades away from the ears. And just like in your cow, where you send the hips towards the ceiling, you're trying to do that in your down dog, so it's ever so slight. It's that ever so slight movement, like the back bend, you're trying to get in your down dog. Can everybody feel that? Does everybody know what I'm trying to explain? Good. Then once you've found that lift from the tailbone, then maybe you start to draw the heels down towards the ground. Take a breath in. Stay there for the exhale. And then when you're ready, walk with a flat foot to the front of your mat. Let's meet in forward fold. Feet hip width apart. You can take ragdoll by taking either elbow and gently swinging left to right. Release the lower back before finding stillness. And then when you're ready, tuck the tailbone, bend the knees, and roll vertebrae by vertebrae up. So the shoulders and then the chin are the last things to come up. We inhale, we lift the hands up, we reach tall, finding length in our side bodies, before exhaling, hands through heart center, Namaste here. Good. So, bring your big toes to touch at the front of your mat, small gap between the heels. Open out the palms. So just like we did last week, we root to rise. Remember, we ground down to the three corners of our feet, but we find this lift coming up from the floor. Engage the quads, and then like we did at the start of practice, it's very subtle, lift the pelvis. Can everybody feel that? It's very, very subtle, but you're engaging, you're finding your mula bandha, this pelvic lift, and through this lift, up through the crown of the head. Good. So even in our resting pose, we're still not really resting, it's active, we're doing a lot. Okay, when we're ready, we inhale, we rise tall. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. So again, like I said at the start of practice, there is a back bend in every forward fold. So just like we did in our cow, try to ever so slightly lift your tailbone up like you would. It's very slight, but you then may feel it more in the hamstrings. Good. So holding here for a breath, keep trying to lift that tailbone up as you suck the belly in to create space to fold further forward. When you're ready, step your right foot back. Bend into the front knee stacked over ankle. Good, we hold here. Our back ankle is directly over our toes. Then think about drawing your left hip back. Good. Very nice. So we're sending our energy out through the crown of our head and our back heel. Drawing the belly up away from our front thigh. And then release the back knee down. Inhale, coming into Anjaneyasana. Taking our hands to our hips, the same thing. Feel where your hip bones are, like we did at the start. And then slightly lift the pelvis. Okay, it's ever such a slight movement, but that's how we find our neutral, by lengthening the tailbone and lifting up the pelvis. Reaching the arms up. Front heel drawing to back knee. So trying to pull the floor towards one another as you lift up out of the fingertips. Breathe. Keep checking those frontal hip bones, that they're not starting to sink. Keep lifting up. Take an inhale. Exhale, send the hips back, half split. So flexing the toes towards you. Good. If I turn towards you, just check that you haven't shifted off to the right. So draw your body back to the center line and then try to draw your left hip back. Good. It tends to creep further forward. And again, in this posture, like we did in our cat-cow, in our cow, we send the hips up. So try to do that now in this position. It's ever so slight, it's ever so subtle. This is all internal, you can't see it, but I'm just trying to explain what you're trying to be feeling when you're in the posture. Good. One more breath here. When you're ready, rebend to the front knee. Take your hands inside of your foot. Inhale, lift the chest. Here's our back bend, like in cow and cats. So we're not actually back bending, but we're trying to find that lift that we do in cat-cow. The shoulders are drawing back, but opening the chest. Keep focusing on the breath. When you're ready, we're going to heel toe our foot out to the edge of the mat. Coming onto our outer edge of our foot, place our right hand directly under our shoulder. Inhale, reach forward with your left. Exhale, send it back. Drop your hips towards the floor. Good. Revolved Anjaneyasana. Good. Keep pressing away from the floor with your right hand. So you're not dumping into your right shoulder. You're finding a lift and there's space in the neck. Take a breath in. Good. When you're ready, inhale, the hand comes back forward, and we step our left foot to meet our right. Good. Now we take that on the other side. So, right foot comes forward. Front knee stacked over ankle. When you have your foundation set, inhale. So you can see automatically what's happened. We're going to lift the pelvis. Good, Anjaneyasana. Front heel to back knee, you're trying to scissor them together, so we're finding this lift. The lift is coming out of the fingertips, shoulders drawing away from the ears. Good. Keep drawing the belly towards the spine, engaging the core. Take an inhale, rise tall. Exhale, send the hips back, half split. Good. Again, just double check that you haven't shifted off one way. Bring your hips back to the center line. Draw the right hip slightly back and down. Good. And again, we're trying to find that subtle back bend of the hips and the tailbone lifting up as you send your heart forward for your fold. One more breath here. When you're ready on the next inhale, rebend the knee. Take your right hand inside of your left, lift the chest up. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another, create space in the neck. We're trying to lift our heart up, just like we did in our cat-cow. We're trying to find that lift. When you're ready, heel toe your feet to the outer edge of your mat. Come onto the outer edge of your foot. Place your left hand under your left shoulder. Inhale, reach forward, find length. Exhale, take it behind. Sink the hips down towards the ground. Good, so we're pressing our right knee away from us as we send our left hip down. Good, are we still breathing? Good. One more breath here. Stay for the exhale. When you're ready, bring your right hand forward. Good. Send your knee back. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. So again, just checking the foundations. We're pressing into the pads of our fingertips and the base of our knuckles. We're wrapping the front of our elbow towards the front of the room, like that jam jar. We're trying to squeeze our armpits as we draw the shoulders away from the ears. Sending the tailbone up like we do in our cow, then maybe drawing the heels down towards the ground. Good. And when you're ready, walking to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. When you're ready, rising tall with a flat back, we inhale, find length in our side body, reach tall. Exhale, hands through heart center. Good. So you following what I'm trying to? Okay. Right, big toes to touch. Small gap between the heels. We're finding that lift from the floor. We're lifting the pelvis, engage the core. We're active, palms facing me. When you're ready, we inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Send that tailbone up like you do in cow. Melt the heart down. Inhale, halfway lift with the flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Good. Step your right foot back. Turn onto the outer edge of the right foot so your front heel and back heel arch are aligned. Okay? From here, keeping your left hand outside of your left foot, we open our right hand to the sky. Good. And then again, that subtle movement of lifting the pelvis. So again, if there's two planes of gas either side of you, your bottom isn't poking out behind you. It's ever so subtle. Then when you're ready on the inhale, lift up, we come into warrior two. Good. Front knee stacked over ankle. We're grounding down through the outer edge of our back foot. We're engaging this back leg so we're not dipping into the knee joint. Again, check what's happening with the hips. Are they even or are you slightly tilted forward? Lift the pelvis, it's ever so slight. Fingertips are spread, shoulders away from the ears. Nice strong warriors this morning. Breathe. Good. When you're ready, we're going to take triangle. So we're going to send our hips back, which will bring our arms forward. Good. Then when you're ready, we take our left hand down to the shin. Okay? And again, right hand comes under the left rib cage. Peel the rib cage up towards the sky. We're in absolutely no rush to get here. Then release the hand up to the sky. Good. Very nice. So our shoulders are stacked, and again, think about lifting the pelvis. Very subtle movement. Good. Breathe. Let's take 2 rounds of breath here. Keep lengthening through the crown of your head. We're trying to find a lift. We're not collapsing into our left side body. Good. When you're ready, inhale, send your right hand towards me. Good. And when you're ready, release the right hand down to the floor, rebend your front leg. Step back into plank. Good. Knees, chest, chin. We come down to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, press back, down facing dog. When you're ready, reach your right leg up to the sky, 3-legged dog. Flex the toes, check that your frontal hips are facing square to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift the leg a little bit higher. Exhale, step to the front of your mat. Right foot first, left foot to meet your right forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Again, trying to reach the tailbone up towards the sky, sucking in the belly so that you can melt further forward. When you're ready, inhale with a flat back, we rise tall. Find that lift, root to rise. Exhale, hands through heart center. Good. Other side. Big toes to touch, small gap between the heels. Frontal hip bones up. Engage the core. When you're ready, inhale. Find that lift first. Exhale. We fold from the hips, and just like cow, try to send the tailbone up to the sky as you melt the chest forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Good. This time we step our left foot back. Turn it to a 90-degree angle. Front heel in line with the back arch of the foot. Your right hand is outside of your right foot. Okay? Left hand then peels up towards the sky, opening the chest up. Good. And again, lift the pelvis. Very nice. So we're grounding down through our right hand as we lift with our left. We're trying to open our heart towards the sky, lengthening out through the crown of your head at the same time as grounding down through the outer edge of your left foot. Front knee stacked over ankle. When you're ready on your next inhale, we make our way to warrior two, lifting up. So again, just checking, front knee over ankle. We want to be able to see our big toe. So just check that your knee hasn't dropped in, that it's in line and tracking over the toes. We're reaching out in both directions. Okay, so in yoga, there's always these opposing directions. Your feet should be trying to draw towards each other so you find this engagement at the same time as trying to reach away with your fingertips. Lift the pelvis, it's ever so slight. Good. From here, we straighten into the front leg, send the hips back. As you start to lean forward, then we cartwheel the right hand down, comes down to the shin. Left hand under the rib cage. Peel the heart open to the sky first. Then release the hand up to the sky. Good. So we're trying to lengthen both side bodies. So just make sure that you're not collapsing into your right side body like this. Okay, we lift. Good. We lengthen through the crown of our head. And breathe. Very nice. Lift the pelvis. One more breath here. When you're ready, send your left hand towards me. Good. Shoulder draws away from the ear. And release the left hand down to the floor, rebend into your front leg. Step back into your plank. Knees, chest, chin. Good. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Think about your cow. Send the tailbone up towards the sky. Good. 3 breaths here. Good. Keep wrapping the front of the elbow towards me. So it's like that jam jar. Send the tailbone up towards the sky. Good. Once you've finished your 3 breaths, left leg rises, 3-legged dog. Check that you haven't opened your hip to the left. Draw that left hip down so you're square to the front of the mat. Good. Inhale, lift the leg a little bit higher. Exhale, step your left foot to the front of your mat. Right foot to meet your left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Very nice, Tanya. Inhale, with a flat back, we rise tall. Lifting the arms up. Reach, reach, reach tall. We're finding length. Exhale, Namaste to you. Good. We're going to take that one more time and start to flow a little bit faster. Okay. Yeah? Right, big toes to touch, small gap between the heels when we're ready. We inhale, we rise tall. Exhale, we bow to the side. Inhale, halfway lift the flat back. Draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold forward. Step your right foot back 90 degrees. Set up for your warrior two. Left hand outside of your left foot. Open up for a twist. Good. Very nice. Shoulders are stacked. Ground down to the outer edge of your back foot. Inhale, we rise, warrior two. Good. Front knee stacked over ankle. You see your big toes. Lift the pelvis. Ever so slight. We're engaging our core. Good. Take a breath in. Sink the shoulders away from the ears. One more breath. Inhale. Maybe get a bit deeper into your warrior. Good. When you're ready, we flip the palm. Inhale, we rise as we send the back hand down the back leg for reverse warrior. Good. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Shifting our hips back, straightening into the front leg. We're not going to rush into this, so placing the left hand down to the inner shin. Take your right hand, let's wrap one more time. Open up the heart and the rib cage to the sky. Then open your hand up. Good. Trikonasana. Again, try to lift the pelvis, it's ever so slight. Draw the navel to spine. One more breath. When you're ready on your inhale, send your top hand towards me. Good. Keep grounding down through the outer edge of your back foot as you reach your fingertips towards me, finding length in your side body. Release the right hand down to the ground, bend into your front knee, step back into plank. Now the option here is to take a full chaturanga, so let me just show you if you're going to do this, otherwise you can do knees, chest, chin. For chaturanga, we shift the weight forward first. We then lower down and we never go lower than our elbows. Then we make our way up. Again, draw the shoulders back, then send your hips up and back for your downward facing dog. So taking the vinyasa of your choice and meeting me in your down dog. Again, we think about wrapping the elbows forward, pressing down into the finger pads and the base of the knuckles. Try to think about sending your tailbone to the sky like you do in your cow. Take a breath. Stay for the exhale. When you're ready, right leg comes to the sky, three-legged dog. Squaring off the hips. Flex the toes down. Inhale, lift a little bit higher. Exhale, step your right foot to the front of your mat. Left foot to meet your right forward fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. With a nice flat back, we rise tall. Arms reach up overhead, finding length. We root to rise. Exhale, hands through heart center. Samastiti. Good. Big toes to touch. We come to the front of the mat. Small gap between the heels. We root down through all three corners. Lift. Lift the knees. Engage the quads. Lift the tailbone. Engage the core. Shoulders down. There's a lot going on. Okay? When you're ready, we inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Good. Step your left foot back. Turn to a 90 degrees. Set up for your warrior two. Right hand outside of right foot. Front knee stacked over ankle. When you're ready, inhale, we open up to the left. Good. So we're trying to peel our left armpit up towards the sky. Good. Reach with your left hand as you ground down through your right. Good. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, rise into warrior two. Good. Front knee stacked over ankle. Check you can see your big toe. Good. Take a breath. Rise the shoulders. Exhale, release them down. Inhale, we flip the palm. We reach tall first before sending the hand back for reverse warrior. Check that you haven't crept out of that front knee, that the front knee is still stacked over the ankle. Return back to warrior two. Good. When you're ready, we make our way into triangle. Send your hips back. By doing so, your arms will naturally come forward. Then bring your right hand to the inner part of your shin. Left under the rib cage. Peel it up and open. Then take the hand to the sky. Very nice. Very nice. Again, lift the frontal hips, the pelvis. Very subtle. Suck the belly in. So if I had two panes of glass, your bottom wouldn't be pressing back. Reach tall. Very nice. When you're ready, send your hand towards me. Good. Top hand towards me. Good. So we're grounding down through the outer edge of our back foot as we reach with our fingertips towards me. Left shoulder draws away from the ear, so you're creating space in the neck. Take a breath. Exhale, maybe reach further forward. When you're ready, release your left hand down to the ground. Bend into your front knee, step back into plank. Taking the chaturanga of your choice and meet me in downward facing dog. Remember, connect the movement with the breath. Good, 3 breaths here. Send those tailbone up like you did, start a practice. Draw the heels down towards the ground, finding length in the back of the leg. Good. When you're ready, release your knees down to the ground. Elbows under shoulders, forearms down to the ground, palms wide. Good. Step the toes back, we come into a forearm plank. And again, remember to lift the pelvis, so it's ever so slight. So you're trying to tuck under, and this way we lengthen the spine by trying to lift the frontal hip bones up. So we're closing the gap between our ribs. Yes, very nice, good. Okay, from here, you're going to draw your elbows towards your feet. So you're like pulling the floor. Can everybody feel that? So you're engaging, pulling the elbows towards you, still lifting the frontal hip bones up. Shoulders away from the ears. Let's stay here for 5. Keep lifting. Draw the belly in and up. 3, 2, 1. Gently release the knees down to the ground. Untuck the toes. Let's make our way into Sphinx. So, just like we do for cat-cow, lift the chest. Draw the shoulder blades back. And then again, that secret of there's a back bend in a forward fold in a back bend. What I mean here, the front part of our Sphinx is our back bend. We flare the ribs, we draw the shoulder blades back, we reach our energy forward. Now if you look, that will be compressing my spine. So what I'm going to do, lift the pelvis. It's ever so slight. You're not going to see it, but it's this movement, ever so slight. By doing that, you're creating length out of the back of your spine. Does everybody kind of understand what I'm trying to? Good. So, draw the elbows towards you. We're trying to lift our heart space through the gateway of our arms. Tuck. Underneath. Press your pelvis into the floor. Yes. So we're shining energy out the front of our heart, but also out the back through our toes. Take an inhale, maybe lift a bit higher. Exhale, come down to the ground. Let's take crocodile, one hand on top of the other. Forehead on top of our hands. And gently rock your hips side to side. And then when you're ready, just come to rest, stillness. Take a few breaths here. Observe what's happening in the body, what's happening to your breath. Okay. From here, guys, we're going to extend our left hand out. Palm facing down, hand in line with your shoulder. You're going to turn to look to the right, placing your left cheek down to the ground. From here, we're going to lift our right foot up and take it behind us. Maybe you can reach it down to the ground behind you. If that's enough, that's okay. Or you can extend your right hand out. Palm facing down, right hand in line with your shoulder for a twist. And breathe. Good. So nice deep breaths. Good. Starting to let the body know that we're calming down, coming towards the end of practice. Everybody take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, try to melt the body into the floor. One more breath here. Nice and steady. And then when you're ready, making your way ever so slowly, no sudden movement, back onto your front. Again, we're going to take crocodile, hands to touch, forehead on top of the hands. Gently rock your hips side to side. And then when you're ready, in your own time, we're going to take that on the other side. So, you're going to extend your right hand out this time, palm facing down, hand in line with your shoulder. Turning to look over to your left. You're going to lift your left leg up and place it behind you. Maybe resting it on the floor, and then extending your left arm out, palm facing down for a twist. Nice, gentle breaths. In through the nose, pausing at the top. Exhale through the nose. Taking one more breath here. Steady exhale. Ever so gently in your own time, make your way back to center, releasing the leg back down. Again, one last time, we're going to place our hands on top of one another, forehead comes to rest on top. You can gently rock the hips side to side, or if you'd like to bend the knees and then just windscreen wiper the feet either side to side, whatever feels good for you. Just releasing any tension. And then coming to stillness, we're going to press back into a child's pose. Big toes to touch, send the knees wide. Reach the arms forward, melt the heart down, resting the forehead on the ground. Connecting with the breath, observing what's going on in the body. And then when you're ready, rising forward and making your way onto your bottom. Swizzling the legs round. We're going to take boat. So, we're going to lift one leg first. When you've found your balance, lift the other. Then maybe extend the arms out, offering the palms to the sky. Broadening the chest, shoulders away from the ears. We're going to lower down for the count of 5. 1, 2, suck the belly in, start to straighten the legs as you lower down. We're going to hover off the floor on 3, 2, on 1. We're hovering, shoulders are off the floor. Squeeze the legs together, reach your arms forward. For 3, for 2, and gently rest down to the ground. Very nice. Draw your knees into the center of your chest, guys. Gently rock side to side. Giving yourself a little massage. And then we're just going to close practice with a twist. So, take your hands out into a T shape. Palms facing up this time. Draw your knees in using your core. Exhale, send your knees over to the left. Melt the knees down. Maybe if you want to go deeper, you can use your left hand on top of your right leg and gently pull. And if it's okay for your neck, you can turn to look to your right. Closing down the eyes. Nice deep breaths. Observe how breathing into your chest, expanding the rib cage. As you exhale, try to soften deeper into the ground. So spinal twist, great for digestion. Bringing out any last tension before we close practice. Everybody take a nice deep inhale here. Observe the space between And then exhale. When you're ready on your next inhale, using your core strength, draw your knees back through center. Pause here for a breath. And when you're ready, inhale first. Draw the knees close into your chest before exhaling, allowing them to fall down to the other side. So we're trying to reach our knees as close to our arm as possible. So the twist is coming through the thoracic spine, the upper spine, rather than the lower back. Very nice. Taking care that our left shoulder is still down on the ground. Maybe turning the head to look over the fingertips, if that's okay for your neck. One more breath here. Nice deep inhale. Steady exhale. And then when you're ready in your own time, draw using your core, knees back to the center of your chest. Maybe hugging your knees in, rocking side to side one last time. We're going to finish with a little squeeze. So bring your forehead to your knees. Squeeze yourself into the tiniest ball you can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze your facial muscles, your glutes, your legs, your arms. Squeeze all your muscles tight, 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 tight. And release. Relax the shoulders down to the ground. Extend the legs. Allow for your feet to fall out to the sides. Arms rest by your sides, palms facing up. Tuck the chin to allow for length in the back of the neck, and if you haven't already, close down the eyes. Allow for the ground to take your weight. Relax, knowing you have nothing left to do, but reap all the benefits of what you've just done. Shavasana. Ready? Start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, circle the wrist, the ankle. Whatever feels good for you, just bringing life life back into the body. We're going to go ahead, draw the legs together, send the arms up overhead. Good, for a nice big stretch as if you're in the morning. And again, one last time, try to lift the pelvis up. So you're drawing the belly towards the floor. Yes, you're finding your neutral spine as you find length. And then when you're ready, relax, draw the knees into the chest. If you'd like to rock side to side, please do so. Before making your way to your right hand side, using your right arm as a pillow. Spend a couple of breaths here. Just coming back into the outside world. Observing the sounds around you. And then when you're ready, in your own time, making your way to a seated, comfortable position in the front of your mat. Keeping the eyes closed down. One last time, grounding down through the sit bones. Rooting down as we rise up the length of our spine, out of the crown of our head. Roll the shoulders forward, up and back. Allow them to melt down from the ears. Observe your breath. Observe how you feel. Mentally, physically, emotionally. Bring your hands to heart center. Just remembering the intention that you started at practice, and again repeating it 3 times mentally. Just want to take a moment of gratitude. Thank you for practicing with me, and I hope you have a lovely weekend. Namaste. Guys, do you kind of all see what I was trying to get at? I really hope that helps you understand. It's very, very subtle, but it makes the world of difference. So yeah, good stuff, guys. See you next week.